Good afternoon, students. I, Dr. C.B. Mahmood, welcome you all in this ICT-based teaching, learning and evaluation technique taken up by Gyanmeg, and I heartily congratulate the committee members of Gyanmeg for taking up this initiative. I would also like to express my heartfelt thanks to our Director Sir, Dr. Pragesh Agarwal Sir, for giving us this opportunity to take up this initiative. So students, this is the module and its title is Letter Writing. It is for all BCom, BA, BSc Semester 1 students. It is the paper for this module is Effective English Writing, and all of you, BA, BSc, BCom students have to undertake this paper. So it's very essential that you know how to write a letter. Let's begin with the story of the letters journey. So पत्र लिखने का कार्य जो है, पत्र लिखने का काम बहुत पहले से शुरू हुआ है. पहले देख रहे हैं आप पिक्चर में that there is a pigeon that is carrying the message. It was taken up by the kings. इस तरह के राजा महाराजा भेजते थे. Then postcard came into existence, inland letters came into existence. I'm sure your parents must be having good stories to tell you about. Then came the email. So email में भी आप letters लिखते हैं. So letter writing is an integral part of your education. So with this, I begin with the table of contents, the topics to be covered, basic language skills, the introduction to letter writing, the structure of letter, various types of letter, the style of writing, summary, and further links will be provided to you. Many references shall also be given to you. So now we will see how formal and informal letters are written. We believe, students, that after studying this lesson, you will be able to understand the various elements of letter. By elements, I mean the different parts of letter. You will also know and understand the layout of letter. You will be able to differentiate between official and unofficial letters. Official letters are also known as formal letters. Unofficial letters are known as informal letters. Not only this, but you will be able to write naturally, very clearly, precisely, and courteously. All these skills will be developed by you. But for that, you have to practice. Create compelling beginnings and closings. You know the phrase that well begun is half done. So आप अच्छी शुरुआत करते हैं तो आपका पत्र पढ़ने में दूसरे को भी अच्छा लगता है. So you will be able to write that, and not only this, you will be able to develop the skills of drafting these letters. The content is the structure of the letter, the different types of letters, and the style of writing. So let's see the structure now. Now the structure may you have a heading, you have date, you have reference, subject, salutation, body, complimentary close, signature, and enclosure. So heading is where you write the address. So senders की address आती है यहाँ पर. It is written on the left hand side of the page. Earlier it was written on the right hand side. Underneath comes the date. Now this is also very important. Then comes the reference. Now reference में आप अगर कोई letter पहले से आपने लिखा है तो उसका reference देते हैं. Otherwise students can skip this. You have subject. जैसे आप leave application लिखते हैं तो यहाँ पर आप लिखेंगे that it is an application for leave. Salutation is how you greet. And body is the most important part of this letter जहाँ पर आप पूरा message देंगे जो आप convey करना चाहते हैं. Next, you don't close your letter abruptly. Complimentary close जहाँ हम उनको कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री तरीके से क्लोज करते हैं विथ रिगार्ड्स, थैंकिंग यू, इस तरह से हम क्लोज करते हैं. एंड देन कम्स द सिग्नेचर विच इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. लास्टली आई हैव मेंशन एनक्लोजर्स. नाउ एनक्लोजर्स मींस अगर आप ईमेल कर रहे हैं तो आपने देखा होगा उसमें भी आप लिखते हैं एनक्लोज. And if you are writing a letter, supposing you are writing a letter for job application and you have written your resume or your biodata, so उसके ऊपर आपको एक covering letter लगाना पड़ता है और उस covering letter में you have to write that your biodata is enclosed herewith. So this is the structure. It is very important, students, that you have a clear idea about what comes underneath what. there should be a sequence of this structure. So moving on to this, let's come to the salutation part. Now, salutation is how you greet. So, dear Mr. Suri is a formal way of greeting. Dear Madam, dear Sir, respected Sir, respected Madam. Students, yahan I would like to clear one thing, that dear Mr. Suri, dear Madam is right. But Indian context में we still use respected Sir and respected Madam, whereas Sir and Madam is in itself a respected word, but it is correct to use respected Sir or respected Madam. जहां आपको ये नहीं पता हो if the lady you are referring to is married or single, so वहां आप MS use कर सकते हैं. Instead of Miss or Mrs. you can use MS. And in informal letters में आपका salutation बहुत informal रहता है. You can greet your father like dear father, dear mother, dear Sanjay, my dear mother. So whichever way you can write. It's very informal. There is no such format as such for informal letters. But yes, for formal letters, there is definitely a format which you should follow. So I hope this salutation is clear to you. Next comes the body of the letter. I have already told you in the previous slides that you have to mention the subject also. But for the body of letter, students, it is always better to divide the letter into paragraphs, short sentences, which are easy to read. And in writing short sentences, you tend to make less mistakes. First paragraph should state the purpose of letter. आपने ये letter क्यों लिखा है? That should be stated in the first paragraph. Very clear. The second paragraph or the middle paragraph should contain relevant information. Whatever relevant information you want to convey, that should be written in your middle paragraph. The last paragraph should state what action you expect. If you want some action, then you should clearly state the action that you expect. So this body of the letter is the main part of the letter, which has to be written in a very simple and clear way. So be very careful when you write your body of the letter. It has to be written in a very simple and straight language. Moving on, students, let's take the subscription or leave taking, now which is also known as complimentary closings. So formal में you can write yours faithfully, yours sincerely, yours obediently, sincerely yours. Informal में you can write yours lovingly, yours affectionately, yours truly. Yes, but for formal closings में you have to write thank you with appreciation, with thanks, with regards. So there is a proper way of taking leave. You just don't end your letter like that. So be very clear with how you have to end your letter. इसको आप बहुत ध्यान से देखें, इनको याद कर लें और देखिए कि किस तरह से आप अपने लेटर को क्लोज करते हैं. Now comes the different types of letters. As I said, letter writing is divided into two parts, that is the formal letters and informal letters. Now formal letters में ये सारे तरह के letters आते हैं, जैसे leave application. Since this module is targeted for semester 1 students, these are the types of letters that you may need. जैसे लीव एप्लीकेशन आपको लिखनी है अपनी टीचर को, डायरेक्टर को, तो उसको किस तरह से लिखते हैं. आपकी क्लास स्टडी टूर पे जाना चाहती है, दैट परमिशन हैज टू बी टेकन फॉर्मली. इट हैज टू बी अ रिटन परमिशन. फॉर दैट आल्सो यू नीड टू राइट अ लेटर. यू वांट टू कंप्लेन, सो दैट कंप्लेंट लेटर है. अप्लाई फॉर आइडेंटिटी कार्ड. यू मे हैव लॉस्ट योर आइडेंटिटी कार्ड. आपको नया आइडेंटिटी कार्ड चाहिए, or you haven't received an identity card, there is an application. You have to write an application to that. तो उसको आपको आना चाहिए लिखना. You want to inquire about fee details. That also needs to be checked. आप देखिए किस तरह से फी की डिटेल्स को लिखते हैं. ये सारे लेटर्स की स्टूडेंट्स आपने बहुत प्रैक्टिस करना है. Letters for scholarships, issue of library cards. Believe me, students, if you start writing these types of letters, you will begin to enjoy them. And I will request you all that you note down all these letters, you write these letters and show them to the concerned class teachers. आप अपनी क्लास में जो इंग्लिश के टीचर्स आते हैं, उनको ये सारे तरह के लेटर्स लिख के दिखाइए, and they may help you, and you will also gain practice. So don't stop here. आपने आगे भी बढ़ना है और सीखना है कि किस तरह से लेटर लिखना है। अभी आप सेमेस्टर 1 में हैं, सेमेस्टर 2 में आप और चीज़ें सीखेंगे, किस तरह से आगे हम ऑफिशियल लेटर्स को लिखते हैं। जब आप जॉब के लिए जाएंगे तब आपको सीखना है किस तरह से कवरिंग लेटर्स लिखते हैं, किस तरह से जॉब के लिए अप्लाई करते हैं। बट दीज आर अ फ्यू सिंपल टाइप्स ऑफ लेटर्स विच आई हैव टेकन. Style of writing. Now, what should be your style of writing? Students, your style has to be very natural, very simple. There are two kinds of approach. One is the you approach or the reader's point of view. I will explain that in the next slide. Conversational tone आपकी कैसी होती है. Avoid trite expressions, avoid long phrases, avoid adjectives and adverbs. जितना simple, जितना सादा आप लिखेंगे, आपकी बात उतनी आसानी तक पहुंच पाएगी. So instead of writing very flowery language, instead of making use of long phrases, instead of making use of many adjectives and adverbs, please write naturally and in a conversational tone. Next comes the example of you approach and the receiver's point of view. See, you approach may have given some sentences like, I'm happy to inform, you will be happy to know. This is taken from the reader's perspective. We will be pleased to announce, you will be glad to hear. We wish to point out, you will be interested to know. We are enclosing a check, you will find your check enclosed. And when we receive or when we send. Next comes these trite expressions like, I have pleasure in informing you. It is not incorrect, but you can say, I am pleased to tell you. We are in receipt of, thank you for your letter. Attach herewith, just write attached. Enclosed. We shall appreciate a reply from you. You can learn these sentences and make use of them in your writings. Send us. We received. So the more concise you write, there is a chance that less mistakes you will make. So use of simple words. Converse with. Instead of saying converse with, you can say I spoke to. Purchase में you can say buy. It's a simple word. Terminate, you can say end. Advert, you can say refer. For require, you can use the word need. For assist, you can use the word hate and help. And for allege, you can use the word claim. There are other words also, but this is only for your example. Next, we come to inquiries and replies. Now, these are a few sentences जो सारी inquiry के लिए हैं. जैसे आप कह सकते हैं, could you give us the following information? इसके बाद आप लिस्ट दे दें जो भी आपको information चाहिए. Or you can say, please send us the following information. I would appreciate receiving the following information from you. Students, remember, whatever be the case, you always have to be very polite while writing letters. It is a written document also, so you have to be very careful. It can be taken up against you. ये आपका एक लिखा हुआ डॉक्यूमेंट है, तो इसमें बहुत पोलाइट रहना है और आप बहुत सिंपल तरीके से अपना सवाल करें. We are interested in, if you are interested in something, you can say that. We should be, these are the opening sentences which I have written for you. Moving on from here, I think we need to discuss some tips for writing good letters. If you are writing it in a handwriting, always make the best use of your writing. Very clear handwriting should be there. The reader should be able to read it. आप इस तरह का लिखें कि पढ़ सकता हो. Make sure all your contact details are clearly written. Contact details बहुत ज़रूरी हैं, बहुत clearly written होना चाहिए. उनको आपको अच्छे से लिखना चाहिए, उनको पढ़ने में कोई दिक्कत ना हो. Think about what you say. Whenever you want to write, first think and then write. But whenever you want to say something, always take a pause, think, and then you say. That gives you the time to correct yourself. Use the right style of writing. Formal language for formal letters, informal language for informal letters. Lay out your letter using paragraphs. Now, students, paragraph writing is also very important. You should know when to change the paragraph. That changes the subject. So, आप paragraphs का ज़रूर use करें. So these, if you follow these tips for writing letters, I'm sure you will be very good at writing letters. आपका purpose भी solve होगा, and that will also help you to gain those writing skills which are very much needed. Moving on from here, we have certain links for further reading. So इसमें आपको थोड़ा सा बताने की कोशिश करी गई है that you can take up general writing or you can talking circles. तो स्टूडेंट्स का रिफ्लेक्शन जानने के लिए इस तरह की एक्सरसाइज भी आप लोग आपस में अपनी टीचर के साथ कर सकते हैं, जहां आप एक दूसरे से पूछें what did you learn from this experience. A short note can be written on this, or you can speak up what did you learn. How did your letter relate back to a reading of the central text? That can also be discussed in the class. What did you expect to happen when you wrote that letter? आपने कोई letter लिखा है, कोई जानकारी मांगी है. What happened to that? Did you receive a response? कोई जवाब आया? What will you do if you do not receive a response? अगर आपको जवाब नहीं आया, तो क्या करेंगे आप? You will write again. डिस्कस द इफेक्टिवनेस ऑफ राइटिंग फॉर सोशल चेंज. सोशल चेंज के लिए देखिए न्यूज़पेपर्स में आर्टिकल्स आते हैं, आपके कॉलेज में मैगजीन्स हैं, आपके डिपार्टमेंट में बहुत सारे न्यूज़ लेटर्स निकलते हैं. यू वांट टू राइट फॉर इट, प्लीज डू राइट, प्लीज कंट्रीब्यूट फॉर सोशल चेंज. So this is how you will improve your writing skills also. These are a few books for reference. You can refer to them. One of them is Aruna Konruka English Language Skills, which is a very good book for writing, reading, learning. Then I have also mentioned Madhya Pradesh Hindi Granth Academy ki publication. It's a very good book where you have a very good section on writing skills and letter writing also. And again, you have Anand Mahanan ki English for academic and professional skills. So this is also a good book. And there are other books also, links also, which I have given in the text. So you can take all those links from the e-text also. Now this is a short assessment which I have for you. Informal letters are also known as official letters. Is it true or false? It is false. Any kind of letter generally ends with, your letter ends with signature. What is pseudonym in a letter writing? It's a fictitious name, bana hua naam, not the real name. Yours lovingly is written in informal letters. तो ये थोड़ा सा assessment आप लोगों के लिए है, but complete 10 questions for assessment is given in your e-text along with the answers also. You should refer to that also. So with this, I end my presentation. I end my lecture. Thank you and keep learning, keep growing. Students, you all are very precious for us. That is the reason that we all are coming up with new ideas to groom you, to make you global citizens, to empower you to become good individuals. So thank you once again.